Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Hello there, good morning, and you're welcome to the AM News here on Adoatv Television with me, Jonathan Amma. This bulletin is coming to you live from our studios here at the John Evans 50th Most High Street in Accra. Remember, we're also streaming live on Facebook at Adoatv Ghana and on YouTube at Adoatv GH. Now, let's take a look at stories making up headlines. In Techiman South, NDC's case challenging parliamentary election results adjourned indefinitely. Also, Ghanaians have expressed their thoughts on the LGBTQ brouhaha, saying they will not accept the LGBTQ rights in Ghana. We'll give details on how 2 miners died in a Galamsey pit. And in business today, we'll tell you about ICIB has iterated that banks must keep to brand promise, not just profit. This and many more coming up in this bulletin. Thanks for staying tuned now to our very first story. The lawsuit filed by the National Democratic Congress parliamentary candidate for Techiman South constituency, Christopher Basanti, challenging the 2020 parliamentary election results has been adjourned indefinitely. Christopher sued the Member of Parliament for the area, Martin J. Mensah-Korsah, the Electoral Commission and Clerk of Parliament.
Mr. Basanti sued the Member of Parliament for Techiman South, Martin J. Mensah-Korsah, the Electoral Commission and the Clerk of Parliament. Speaking after court proceedings on Wednesday, February 24, 2021, the National Democratic Congress General Secretary Johnson Esiedun Ketia said his side's legal team has still not succeeded in serving the Clerk of Parliament despite the suit being filed on January 11th. The NDC parliamentary candidate has decided to discontinue the case against the Clerk of Parliament upon advice from his lawyers. Our case will not hurt that much if we discontinue the processes against them so that we take Parliament out of it and proceed against the Electoral Commission and Martin J. Mensah-Korsah, he said. The court, however, requested a motion of notice which has to be served on the clerk before the case can be discontinued. The clerk will have to be served before Mr. Basanti can proceed with arguments on 2 other motions against the Electoral Commission and Mr. Korsah. Mr. Basanti's lawyers expressed disappointment with these developments, according to Mr. Esiedun Ketia. He believes that these technicalities are intended to unnecessarily delay the case against the intentions of the court and everybody. Mr. Basanti wants the declaration of Mr. Korsah as the winner of the parliamentary elections to be quashed. He also wants the Electoral Commission to be compelled to collate polling station results in the constituency in the presence of the representatives or the candidates. In his suit, he held that there was no collation of the results of the parliamentary elections for the Techiman South constituency and no declaration of the results could be made on the 8th of December 2020.
So remember, we'll give you more to that story as development unfolds in the Techiman South election 2020 results and more. Now, away from that, over the week, the topic that has come under a lot of attack is the issue of legalization of the lesbians, gays, bisexual, transgenders, queers, and intersex rights in Ghana. The pride rights community in Ghana are of the view that they have right to association and believe that their sexual orientation is entirely their decision. Some political, religious, traditional, and the public has heavily criticized the act. The following report has more in the details.
The LGBT and pride community in recent times have gained prominence in the world. This follows many endorsements from high-profile people and celebrities alike. This community is a loosely defined grouping of people. This community is a loosely defined grouping of transgender, bisexual, gay, lesbian, and transsexuals. They generally celebrate pride, diversity, individuality, and sexuality. News broke over the week that an office has been commissioned in Ghana to aid the activities of the LGBT plus community in Ghana. According to reports, this occasion saw the attendance of some foreign diplomats and dignitaries. One organization that has been in the front line against the legalization of the activities of the LGBT plus community here in Ghana have been religious bodies. My colleague, Nanyema Collison, in an interview via Zoom with the General Secretary for the Concerned Clergy Association of Ghana and Head Pastor for Garden Chapel International, Reverend Jonathan Yao Dr. Blay, he disclosed that
we are not saying that they don't have their right. Everybody has their right to do whatever they want to do. As a matter of fact, if you and your other colleague man decided to go into your bedroom to do something, nobody will come there to see what you are doing inside your bedroom because it's a private matter. In that case, you have your right to do whatever you want to do inside your bedroom. But what we are saying is that we don't come and do those things publicly. Things that are done in privately between two men or two women. If nobody sees you, it's like you being going to do something like, let's say, armed robbery. Though it's offense against our laws in Ghana. But if you manage to rob somebody, if nobody sees you, nobody that lost car to you goes free because you went and do that. So what we are doing, what we are saying is that to make this thing, whole thing publicly is against our laws, because when you read our laws, the Criminal Code, 1960 Section 104, who talks about the carnal knowledge laws, it's seriously speaking against those things. So we, as a clergyman, are saying that see, it's against our laws as a nation, our culture, our way of living. There's no way we should allow it to be done in public, because if you give that go ahead, it means that you are going to introduce something strange to our society that is not what our culture, our way of life is. So that's the reason why we are saying, yes, you may have your right to do whatever you want to do, but if the right is against the laws of the nation, that right, it ceases to be a right. It ceases to be a right. So we love them as a man of God. In fact, it's our duty to talk to them, to preach to them the love of Christ. If I know that maybe my colleague or my friend is in that situation, I have to approach him to tell him that, my friend, this is and that is what the Bible says. You have to show them the love of Christ. But these people, what they are doing, they don't even know that what they are doing is, in the first place, is a sin to them. Because they think that it's their right, they want to do whatever. But we are governed by rules and laws in this nation.
As this issue is of national interest, my colleague Raphael Tete was at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle to also elicit the thoughts of some Ghanaians, and this is what they had to say.
From say, if I say roll special manifi, abe pem samre, you know. Me who say sa bakwasemuno ebi wo say bema ene bema timida ana oba timida ana me who bi so Bible. And let's say, sa asobufo a Christian for asorin penifo na omode da asori bebra no e wo so mo sorin tia sa ne ma no because e finkase e de mo man no.
We have already completed it all, because being that kind of a act is very bad. It's very bad. It's not something advisable. So we youth, because it's been they have turned it to a practice where a man and a man marry each other, do all sort of rubbish, and which is not done that way. So to me, it is not advisable at all.
The alleged office have been raided by security officials and have been locked down. Some Ghanaians are of the candid view that the government should introduce stringent measures to annihilate the activities of the LGBT plus community here in Ghana before things worsen.
For more development and a thorough detail to that story and more, you can log on to adwanewsonline.com. 2 illegal miners met their untimely death after a hill very close to their mine site collapsed, trapping them and severely injuring one other person. The incident happened at Wassa Adiambra in the Amenfi East municipality of the Western region.
Viewer discretion is advised. The 3 illegal miners were on their routine Galamsey expedition on Tuesday afternoon when a hill which had developed some cracks accidentally slipped on them, killing 2 and injuring 1 severely. The names of the deceased were given as Kofi China, 30, Jakut, 26. The injured victim name was given as Yenukwao, 26. According to eyewitnesses, the victims were under the rubble for over 2 hours before a backhoe was organized to the site to evacuate the debris in order to rescue them. After digging for hours, Yenukwao was rescued, but all his legs were broken. He was rushed to the Wase Kropong Government Hospital for treatment, but was immediately transferred to Techiman for further treatment. However, the 2 were found dead under the rubble. Kofi China, who is a Kusasi, had one of his whole arm unfortunately amputated. Their mortal remains have been deposited at the Wase Kropong Hospital morgue. The rescue exercise was supervised by the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, from the Wasa Menfi East Municipality. The Wasa Menfi East Municipal Director for National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Nana Kumi, advised Galamseyers to take safety precautions in their expeditions. Even though the government has banned illegal mining in Ghana, Galamsey activities in the area still continues. For Adoatv, I am Emmanuel Wilson.
Thanks for staying with us, and remember, this is the Hub for Comprehensive News Update. This is the AM News. Now let's do some business. The Chartered Institute of Bankers, Ghana CIB, has in its 2020 extensive review iterated that profitability, which is key to every bank's health and growth, should not be overridden by other factors such as the brand's promise, integrity, constant innovation, and adherence to ethics. The Institute, nudging banks to stay true to customers, are to believe all banks must consolidate the gains, confidence of consumers and businesses in the banking sector, as well as reaffirm that banking thrives on the confidence, poise, and self-assurance that stakeholders, customers, and clients have in bankers. The statement added that apart from the knowledge, skills, and technical expertise professionals in the industry possess, there is a need to exhibit integrity in order to gain the confidence of the public.
The Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana noted that banks must be more innovative in these trying times to drive their markets. Mr. Charles Ofori-Akwa, CEO of CIB Ghana, said bank innovation must be original and more effective, and as a consequence that breaks into the consumer market and business society. He was of the view that banks must strive to improve on their innovations to attract, retain, and grow customers and businesses into banking space, and for that matter, raise their confidence the more in Ghana's economy. The Institute believes that investment in human capital development must run along with technology to create agile businesses and sustain profitability, because a workforce well-resourced with digital skills is capable of mastering and navigating technology in the business of banking. The Institute also added that as organizations deploy more sophisticated technologies as a catalyst for improved performance, criminals and criminal organizations, by their praying eyes, also sense an opportunity. Digital transformation has therefore also created new vulnerabilities which criminal groups are quick to exploit and monetize. The Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana says it is aligning its professional education to these new megatrends and have embarked on a major curriculum review of the Associate Banker program. The Institute further said it will use its continuing professional development programs to help practitioners upskill and, where required, reskill to secure their job role.
Let's do some more business news. And after being badly hit by the pandemic due to lockdown measures and restrictions on trade, new data show taxes generated from trade with other countries have rebounded strongly. A feat of Bank of Ghana has attributed to the effective revenue collection method implemented through the Integrated Customs Management System (ICUMS). According to the bank's quarterly bulletin report, taxes generated from international trade within the stated period jumped from 3.3 billion Ghana cedis to 1.2 billion Ghana cedis the previous quarter. This represents 176.3% more than the budget targeted of 1.2 billion Ghana cedis for the period. The Bank of Ghana says the sector's impressive performance can be credited to increased revenue from cost, insurance and freight (CIF) and the newly instituted ICUMS, which has introduced changes in the revenue collection system and increased monitoring by various bodies and agencies.
The development is positive news for the economy, especially when compared to the first quarter bulletin report that showed taxes generated from international trade recorded 829.7 million cedis, lower than the budget target of 1.2 billion cedis, with total import duty falling 34% lower and recording a year-on-year decline in growth of 42.5%, all due to the closure of the country's borders. Despite international trade rebounding strongly, other sources of revenue continue to deplete, a sure indication that these sectors have still not been able to pick up the pieces after they were wrecked by the effects of the pandemic. For example, taxes on domestic goods and services recorded revenue of 3.4 billion cedis, which is 20.8 percentage points lower than the program target of 4.3 billion cedis. This tax component comprised excise duty and petroleum tax, VAT collections, national health insurance levy, get fund levy, as well as communications service tax. Petroleum taxes, which constituted 83.1% of excises, missed a target of 1.15 billion cedis by 55.7 percentage points as it recorded revenue of 510.1 million. Again, VAT collections missed a targeted budget of 2 billion by 8.9 percentage points. This was occasioned by lower than expected external VAT collections of 572.1 million cedis against the target of 927.4 million cedis. Non-tax revenue also followed in the same path by generating 1.5 billion cedis, representing 26.3% lower than the programmed target of 2.1 billion for the third quarter of 2020. Other revenue streams, such as the Energy Sector Levy Act, also saw a decline of revenue to 530 million cedis for the review period against a target of 730.4 million cedis. This, the report attributes mainly to lower than anticipated demand in petroleum products due to impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, taxes from income and property during the third quarter recorded revenue of 4.9 billion, marginally higher than the programmed target of 4.9 billion cedis. The increase, according to the central bank, was on account of improved collections in self-employed taxes as well as other direct taxes by 47.6% and 30.5% respectively. Government, however, has through the first quarter budget expressed confidence that the revenue situation will get better in the fourth quarter through to the end of this year, banking such hopes on increased activity in the
And in the world of business, Ghana Premier League side Mediama SC has announced the departure of its coach, Samuel Boadu. Boadu on Wednesday, February 24, 2021, resigned from his position as the head coach of the Moev and Yellows after being with the club since 2017. His resignation comes after the club's 2-0 victory over 11 Wonders in the Ghana Premier League Matchday 16 game on Wednesday afternoon. He left the club third on the league log after 16 games.
This current football season has seen a lot of coaches being sacked or switching clubs. Asante Kotoko, Hearts of Folk, among others, have sacked coaches this season. Mediama today has announced the departure of their coach, Samuel Buedu. Buedu joined the Takwa-based club in 2017 and successfully made them title contenders in his time there. The highly rated tactician is reported to have tendered in his resignation after growing unhappy with the club's decision to hire a technical director. His last game at the helm was on Wednesday, February 24, 2021, where Mediama beat 11 Wonders by 2-0 at the Akun Park. Buedu leaves the club in a very good position, having guided them to second on the Ghana Premier League table, just 2 points below leaders Karela United. Mediama confirmed the coach's departure on Thursday, February 25, 2021, and wished him well in his future endeavors. Meanwhile, reports in the local media suggest Buedu is the subject of a transfer tug-of-war between Hearts of Oak and Ashanti Gold. It remains to be seen which club he will join after resigning from Mediama.
Rather unfortunate that club coaches are resigning often in this season. On that note, this is how we end the AM News here on Adoatv Television. Remember, this is the hub of comprehensive news analysis here on Adoatv News. For the rest of the team and myself, it's a bye-bye for now. The AM Ghana is up next. Have a wonderful morning.